Hi everyone, I'm back to share the tutorial on this Traveler's Tea Holder gift set that I showed in a previous video. So we're going to be making this today, and the paper that I used is from a Heidi Swapp paper pad I had in my stash for quite a while called Believe, in case you are interested. And let's get started. So let me get my goodies out here. Okay, so for the base of your tea holder, okay, you're going to need a sheet that measures 11 by 6 inches, and you're going to line it up at the 11-inch mark, and you're going to score at 3.5. Again at 4, 7.5, and then again at 8. And we're going to fold up our score lines. Now this is the top flap because it's smaller than the other two, which is right here. Sorry, I'm kind of all thumbs today. Let me make sure that's even there. There we go. Okay, I got those done. And these. Okay, so now we're gonna put our paper on. Let's do the front first. So the front flap, the Believe, where I have the words over here, which I'm hoping you guys can see that. This front flap here, I have a sheet of cardstock that measures, or a mat that measures 5 7/8 by 2 7/8. I'm just going to add some glue to that. And put that down. Okay, that's the outside. All right. And then the middle outside piece measures 5 7/8 by 3 3/8. I'm trying to get this tutorial finished before the storms come. It's been kind of storming on and off today, with some seriously loud thunder and lightning out there. Okay, so we have that piece done already. And then the bottom outside piece, we want to put our magnet on first because this has a magnet closure. So basically we're going to add a magnet to this flap here. So you can kind of probably see the magnet in there. And then we want to have a magnet down here, so when we close it, it locks together. So I'm going to turn this around and kind of fold my flap up here. And I want to make sure when I put this on, I have the magnet towards the bottom. And I did have a magnet somewhere. Thought it was stuck to there. Let's see. Stuck to one of these guys in here. Oh, there it is. Okay. So here's my magnet. I'm going to flip my cardstock over. And I'm going to try to center it. Whoop. And I'll add it right there on the bottom part of my flap. I'm going to add glue to the magnet itself. And then go around my edges. Got a stand for this part. May want to get that a little bit lower. There we go. And I think I'm going to turn my paper around here. It's just easier for me. And there we go. And then where you put the magnet, you want to push down, press down really well all around the magnet part. Just make sure it's really stuck on there. Okay, so that's our outside cover. I'm going to turn it around. This is the top part here. And the top inside mat measures 5 7/8 by 2 7/8. Sorry if you guys hear that, it's my phone. And we're going to glue that down. And then we're going to do our middle section. I designed this so that I can use up a lot of scraps of cardstock when I made my pockets. And you'll see why I'm saying that in a minute. But I've also had people suggest we could do these with hot cocoa, just modify it a little. And I'd also like to modify it and use, like, to get a spoon in there, an appetizer spoon, and a honey stick. So I'll probably be making more of these later, different styles. Okay, your middle mat measures 5 7/8 by 3 3/8. Same as on the outside. And then we have our bottom inside measures 5 7/8 by 3 3/8. Okay, so then once you have your base done, you're going to want to work on your magnetic closure. Okay, so let's get that out. Okay, so here's our magnetic closure piece. And I'm gonna just lay my magnet, I feel it on the back here. I'm gonna lay that on there right now just for the heck of it. We're going to close this flap up. Okay, so your basic piece of cardstock for the closure piece measures 1 by 2 inches. And then your outside piece, your decorative piece there, measures 1 7/8 by 7/8. And I'm going to add some glue. Okay, now that's the front part that we're going to decorate later. Now what we want to do is we want to add this onto here and put our magnet on. So basically what I do is before I put this decorative piece on, I kind of want to see where I want my magnet to land. So I'll put that on there. I'll add some glue to this magnet. And I want to make sure it's laying properly closed before I do this. And then I'll set my piece on top. And I'm just going to kind of press down. And then that way, when you flip it over, you kind of know where you want your magnet to land. So I'll peel it off this side. Oh, glue goes on this side. And glue that on. Let me see if I did that right. Might not have done that right. Nope, I didn't. Glue goes on the other side. There we go. You want to definitely make sure you have it on right, and you'll feel the pull of the magnet before you put your decorative piece on, because I've already put it on backwards and had to redo it. Okay, and your decorative piece for this part is 1 7/8 by 7/8. Put glue on your magnet. and then glue all along here. I'm going to lay this on and press down really well. And something I kind of like to do is just run my bone folder all around the edges. Because the magnet's so close to the edge, I want to make sure my paper seals down really well. And this you want to do carefully because you don't want to tear any of your paper. So just kind of run it along the side and press down. I really want to get a good seal on that. Okay, so you can see my magnet through the paper. I'm going to lay my magnet down. Okay, that's going to work good. Now I'm not going to adhere that right now. I want to finish up the pockets and stuff, and then the final piece I will probably decorate it. Okay, so let's set that aside and this aside and get started on our pockets. So our large pocket on the top here, that measures 7 by 2. You're going to put it in your scoreboard and you're going to score at 1/2 inch, then again at 6 1/2, and then you're going to flip it, line it up at the 2 inch mark, and you're going to score it at 1/2 inch all the way down. Okay, fold that up. And we're going to cut off these little square pieces here. And we're going to make our pocket. We're going to fold our two sides in. Add a little bit of glue to the bottom here. And then fold the bottom flap up and pinch it on the sides and hold it there. Okay, so we just made our long top pocket, and the mat size that goes on that is 5 7/8 by 1 3/8 inches. I'm gonna add some glue. I think these would make really great gifts for when you're doing swaps. Could be a really nice stocking stuffer just to send in your happy mail packages, or just give out to friends and coworkers, especially if they love to drink tea. Okay, our pocket's done, so I'm going to open up my flap and I want to add it to this top piece here. So I'm just going to put glue all along those pieces that we scored. And lay it down on the bottom. Run my bone folder over it. And we're going to let that dry really well. So now we have our other pockets. Set that aside. These are basically double pockets, so that you could put, if you can see here how they're adhered, this is the first pocket and this is the second pocket. So you can put your tea bag and your sweetener or another tea bag. The problem is if you put too many tea bags in here, it makes it very bulky. So that's why I went this route. Okay, so I've already have a bunch of mine made up. I'm going to show you how to make one. But what you're going to need are 8 pieces of cardstock that measure 3 3/4 by 1 1/2. And the reason I did it this way is because I had a lot of these little pieces in my stash that I wanted to use up. So you're going to make 8 pieces of these. You're going to score all 8 pieces. So you want to score, line it up at the 3 3/4 mark. You're going to score at a 1/2 inch. 3 1/4. You're going to flip it around and you're going to score at the 1/2 inch. Okay, fold up our score lines. And we're going to make this just like we did our large pocket. We're going to cut off these corners. Fold the 2 sides in, add a little bit of glue to the bottom flaps on the edge, and fold it up. Hold it there, run your bone folder over it. Okay, you're going to do that to all 8 pieces. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take 2 pockets and you're going to glue them. So this is the back part of our pocket that gets glued onto the actual mat. This is our front pocket. We're going to glue our front pocket to that one. So basically, run glue all along the edge of these scored flaps here. And you know what? I'm sorry. Before you do that, you want to mat it. I'm so sorry. I got ahead of myself. Okay. Before you do that, you want to mat one of your pockets, the one that's going to be on the front. And your mat measures 2 5/8 by 7/8. I'm sorry about that. Got ahead of myself. So you want to mat your front pocket. Okay, and then I took my 1-inch circle punch, open it up, and you're going to cut a 1/2 moon, just like that, out of your pocket. Okay? Now we're going to glue them together. Add glue to your pocket, and then add it to your back pocket there. So these 2 little pockets kind of make one pocket double matted. And like I said, the reason why I made them like this is because I had so many little scraps I just really wanted to use up. Now, when you get all of those pieces done, you're going to want to glue them inside. Same thing, add glue just to the parts that we scored. Let's see, did I go to the edge on this? I don't think so. Oh yes, I did. Okay. Go to the very edge, maybe leave a little decorative paper there, and press down really well. And you're going to keep doing that till they're all on. Add one to this side. Okay. Add it to this bottom flap here. And we're going to add our last one, and then I'm going to give you a little tip on loosening up your pockets. Because we burnished all of them with our bone folder, they got nice and tight, the pockets. Okay, so basically you want to let them dry a little bit before you do this, but you're going to take your bone folder and just kind of run it in along the inside and loosen those up. And that way it's a little bit easier to tuck in your tea bag. Okay, if you tried it right now, it would be a little tight and you would be pulling on your pocket. You may loosen that pocket up. So make sure before you do this to let them dry really well, but get your bone folder in there and just kind of loosen up both pockets. And you want to do that here. Go underneath to the first one and then the top one. Same thing underneath and then the top one. Underneath the top one. Okay, and then that way when you go to slide in your tea, it slides in really nice, and then you have your sweetener pocket in the front. Okay, so this is done. I'm going to close up my book, and I like to actually put tea in it. So we're going to do that right now. We're going to put tea in it and our sweetener. We're going to see how I guess I didn't loosen this one very well. There we go. I told you guys I'm all thumbs today. It's terrible. Come on, Cindy. There you go. Some tea back here. This just seemed to work better for me for the bulk purpose of how bulky it was going to be before I put my magnet on. You guys can do it however you'd like. Okay. So I'm going to close this up. And we're going to find our magnet part. Adhere that down and hold down your flap. And then I'm just going to lift it up, put a little line on the back there with glue. And now I know where I want to start my line. Put my glue. Yep, that's going to look really nice. Okay, you can get a rag here. I put a little too much glue on there. Okay, you want to push down really well. Okay, and then get it to close. There we go. And then for my teacup and my sentiment here that I'm going to put on the sides, I just used this stamp I think I got this in a $1.50 bin a long time ago. It says, "You're my cup of tea." So I stamped it out, I colored the teacup, and then I cut the sentiment away from it. And I have some foam on the back. I'm going to peel that off. I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue as well because I just think it adheres a little bit nicer. Line this up and put my teacup kind of in the center there, and then the "You're my," and I think I'm going to put this one down here, cup of tea. Up here I did it on the top, but I think I'm going to make this one a little different and put this piece right here on the bottom. So it looks nice both ways, I think. And that's it, guys. That is our Traveler's Tea Holder gift set. Pockets are all done. And like I said, I'm probably going to try to design other ones and modify it a little bit. And when I do, I will be back to share that with you guys. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. I hope you have fun making yours, and happy crafting.